Hey everybody, we are talking about the Wheel of the Year today. The Wheel of the Year is a cycle of 8 seasonal festivals celebrated by many pagans and witches, representing natural cycles of life, death, rebirth. These festivals, and also known as sabbats, mark key points in the year such as solstices and equinoxes, and they are celebrated with rituals and celebrations. The history of the Wheel of the Year, it is deeply rooted in Celtic and European traditions. It reflects the connection between humanity and the natural world, recognizing the cycle of nature is as sacred. The Wheel of the Year is observed by many modern pagans and witches, though it's not universally observed by all within those communities. It provides a framework for spiritual practices and celebration, connecting individuals to the rhythm of the seasons and the natural world. Everyone celebrates it in different ways. Often they involve honoring the elements using herbs and flowers and connecting with energies of the energy of the specific season. And it can be the wheel of the year can be a good tool for personal growth as well. There are 4 lesser sabbats, which are your solar holidays, and you have 4 greater sabbats, which are your cross-quarter holidays. The lesser sabbats are Yule, which is winter solstice, Astra, which is spring equinox, Litha, which is summer solstice, and Mabon, which is fall equinox. The greater sabbats are cross-quarter holidays that fall between these solar holidays and have origins in Celtic tradition, such as Imbolc, Beltane, Lughnasadh. It's also known as Lammas. So if you hear me say Lammas, it's what I'm referring to, because I can't pronounce the other word to save my life. Just as you can tell, I butchered it. And Samhain, which again I am butchering. Basically Halloween. Either way you look at it. The holidays, I will give the dates celebrated this year, and starting with Northern Hemisphere, ending with Southern Hemisphere. And I will start with Yule and end with Samhain. There we go. Words. Yule, Northern is December 21st through 23rd. Southern is June 21st through 23rd. Imbolc, February 1st to 2nd, or August 1st through 2nd. Astra is March 20th through 21st, or, well, no, either way, it's March. That does not make sense. Probably September 20th through 21st. I have a typo. Beltane, April 30th through May 1st, or October 31st through November 1st. Lammas, which is what I'm going to call it because I cannot pronounce the other word, is August 1st or February 1st through 2nd. And Mabon is September 21st or April 30th through May 1st. And Samhain is either October 31st or June 21st through 23rd. How they are celebrated differs between hemispheres. So the way we celebrate Yule here in the northern hemisphere is how someone in the southern hemisphere would typically celebrate Litha, because our winter solstice is their summer solstice, just to keep in mind. Yule it marks the shortest day of the year. It is also winter solstice and the return of the light. Most widespread traditions are burning the Yule log, eating roast, feasting on freshly collected harvest. Also, I know here we have a camp out where we stay up all night. We write our intentions for the new year. And we have different traditions where we light a candle with specific herbs in it for each hour, going on until morning when the sun rises. And we try to stay up all night. For my witches in Jacksonville, contact Simoline with Whispers, and she can get you set up for the winter solstice camp out. Imbolc. It celebrates the first signs of spring. The typical ways that it is celebrated are with bonfires, candles, elements of fire, things like that. Imbolc is a low-key holiday. Typically, you just light candles, you refresh your altar, and get rid of the stagnant energy, and, start getting things fresh and flowing, and ease yourself out of the hibernation of winter. And typically, most people will start spring cleaning it during Imbolc. Oh, before I forget, for Yule, colors red, green, and gold. Plants, pine, fir, cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, oak leaves, basically anything that is in season at that time. This is for Yule. Incense for Yule is cedar, frankincense, cinnamon, and pine. The crystals are bloodstone, emerald, citrine, and clear quartz. And food and drink is mulled wine, hot ciders, seasoned soups, and nuts. Typically. I forgot to mention that. And Imbolc, your colors are pink, white, light green. Plants and herbs, blackberry, chamomile, cinnamon, snowdrops, and witch hazel. Incense are vanilla, lily, jasmine, and chamomile. Crystals are amethyst, turquoise, citrine, and bloodstone. Food and drinks, sunflower, pumpkin seeds, seeded breads, oats, poppy seeds, and cakes. Astra, which is the spring equinox. This marks the balance between the light and the darkness in the beginning of spring. Astra shares many of the same traditions of Easter. Basically, Easter was taken from pagans. There's painting eggs, decorations with fertility symbols like rabbits and birds, and seeds are planted or put in pot, spring flowers, daffodils, tulips, things like that. It's basically when you start getting your garden started and things of that nature. Astra, technically, every holiday there will be a bonfire, there will be meditation, and a feast. Astra, the best activities I have seen for it is egg decorating, gardening, candles, making flower mandalas, potlucks, and nature walks. Basically, be one with nature. We're starting fresh. The new year is starting. It's, it's one of those, it's time to start putting your intentions in. It's time to nurture your intentions and desire and fertilize them with action steps, basically. Your colors are pastels, like of pink and green and yellow and also white. Your plants and herbs are meadowsweet, cleavers, clovers, lemongrass, spearmint, catnip, daffodils, crocus, tulips, and snowdrops. Incense are rose, strawberry, sandalwood, jasmine, violet, and narcissus. Your crystals are aquamarine, amethyst, and rose quartz. And your food and drink is eggs, kale, spinach, lettuce, seeds, and light breads and honey. And wine is good anytime. Next, we'll move to Beltane, which is the start of summer. Beltane is when we pull out the maypole and the flower crown and the hand fasting and fire rituals. Traditional celebrations for Beltane include dancing around a maypole and lighting a huge bonfire. Typically, it's the peak of gardening as well. Nurturing the seedlings that you planted during Ostara, and tending to the greenhouse, and just keeping an eye out for potential frosts, even though, at least here in Florida, we don't have to worry about that. There's also like yard cleanup, neighborhood pickup, that sort of thing, or park cleanup. Your colors are red, blue, green, and yellow. Plants and herbs are daffodil, hawthorn, dandelion, meadowsweet, paprika, primrose, oak, and rose. Your incense for Beltane are rose, frankincense, ylang ylang, peach, and vanilla. Your crystals are emerald, sunstone, beryl, malachite, and rose quartz. Food and drinks, wine, sweet breads, elderflower, oats, and cakes. And again, please be patient and forgive me. I am going to butcher names and words. Words are hard for me today. Litha, or Litha, is summer solstice. This marks the longest day of the year and the peak of summer. Basically, for a lot of people, I know here we are doing a summer solstice down at Ocean Park at 6 a.m. There is going to be a sunrise ritual that Simoline of Whispers is throwing for my people in the Jacksonville Witches Society. I will post that event into the main group page so you have it. But basically, it's time to bask in the glory and warmth of summer, to play, do something fun, go swimming, and just relax. Enjoy the wildflowers and the birds and things of that nature. Make a flower crown, do a hydration ritual, do a summer solstice wreath. There is even a solar dance. I have not seen it, but there is one. There are nature walks you can do, or you can create a sun wheel. Those are all options. Your colors for the summer solstice for Litha are red, gold, yellow, and orange. Plants and herbs are dandelion, sunflowers, rose, sage, St. John's wort, lavender, mullein, lady's bedstraw, which I have never heard of, and mugwort. But also calendula, chamomile, mint, rosemary, thyme, and verbena. And the incense are rose, lavender, musk, orange, lemon, and sage. Your crystals are sunstone, citrine, calcite, yellow topaz, and emerald. Your drinks are apple cider, ice cream, squash, carrots, and honey. Apple cider for me sounds weird for summer solstice or Letha, which remember, summer solstice here is also winter solstice in the southern hemisphere. So I would assume that kind of makes sense depending on where you're at. Lammas is considered the harvest. This is when you're celebrating the harvest and the abundance of earth. It's toward the end of summer when it's in most places starting to cool off. This is when you're baking bread, doing some fun competitive games, hosting cookouts, things like that. Very simple, very laid back. Your colors are green, gold, light brown, and yellow. Your plants and herbs are greens, heather, basil, blackthorn, clover, and ivy. Your incense are sandalwood, mint, rose, and frankincense. Your crystals are citrine, golden topaz, amber, tiger's eye, and I can never pronounce this, peridot or peridot. I can never pronounce that properly. And your food and drinks are bread, oats, honey, corn, and apples. So you're still seeing the warm colors and themes of summer, but you can see that shift because even with the crystals, you still have that bright citrine and things like that. But instead of like the yellow topaz, you're going to the golden topaz. So you're starting to go into deeper colors, representing that shift. Now, Mabon, or Mabon, depending on how you pronounce it, the autumn equinox marks the balance between light and darkness in the end of harvest season. So, most people for Mabon, or Mabon, they do a gratitude jar, foraging, corn mazes, picking apples and pumpkins, enjoying apple cider and baking apple pies, things of that nature. And which makes sense because Mabon is, at least over here, or Mabon, however you want to pronounce it, over here is September 21st. So you're starting to lean into October and Halloween season and all that. Or at least the technical Halloween season. Which it makes sense. Your colors will be brown, gold, yellow, and orange. Your plants and herbs are sage, rosemary, chamomile, and marigold. Your incense are sage, pine, cinnamon, apple, and frankincense. Your crystals are citrine, amber, quartz, sapphire, and lapis lazuli. And your food and drinks are rye bread, apples, wine, potatoes, nuts, and fresh meat. And like I said, with all of these, bonfires, meditations, and feasts apply. If you want to do some sort of potluck to celebrate, there's no problem with that. Samhain, which is considered the end of fall, beginning of winter. Also, it's considered Halloween. So, this marks the end of harvest and the beginning of the dark cycle of the year. Most people look poorly upon it because it is the season of death, so to speak. This is a time when you're still doing your regular autumn activities, You're baking your corn mazes, and do the scary, fun Halloween stuff for the season, that sort of thing. And carving jack-o'-lanterns, things like that. But it's also the time to honor your ancestors, honor those that passed. It's basically considered the final harvest. You get the last of what you can from your garden, and get your garden ready for winter. Because after Samhain, basically everything dies off. But your colors are going to be orange, black, gold, purple, and silver. Your plants and herbs are going to be calendula, rosemary, garlic, nutmeg, and sage. Your incense are sage, frankincense, mint, cinnamon, and myrrh. Your crystals are clear quartz, obsidian, smoky quartz, bloodstone, and onyx. And your food and drinks are meat, potatoes, parsnips, pumpkins, apples, spiced wine, or cider. Now, again, this differs between different sides of the world. One person's spring equinox is another person's winter equinox. And some people just go for the northern equinox name. Some people shift it and rename it what it should be accordingly for the seasons where they are at. Nonetheless, and I am guilty of sin. I have not celebrated every holiday this year. I am still fairly new to this. But I, at the very least, try to make sure I'm doing something for each holiday, even if it's something small. Because for me, I have kids. My youngest is 2.5, 3. My oldest is 10 and autistic. So I've got my hands full. Beltane and winter solstice, we have a camp out with our local group, which is Whispers. And Samhain, the group is doing something. Summer solstice, Letha, the group is doing something. I'm still not sure if we're making it or not, because I am not a morning person. Everyone will hate me. But even things like Imbolc, I believe we made candles for Imbolc. Astra, with it being Easter, we did Easter stuff. Which, it still applies. Easter was literally taken from us. Most of the Yule traditions are regular Christmas traditions. Decorating the tree, things like that. Gift giving, it's all the same. It was taken from us. Which is, our version of Yule. Letha, I don't know what I'm doing for Letha. I might do the summer solstice meetup in the morning, or I might just go down to the creek later in the afternoon. I have no idea. And Lammas and Mabon, I have not figured that out yet. I have not celebrated that yet, and I will figure it out as it comes. But nonetheless, I actually might be on my honeymoon during Lammas this year. But nonetheless, you don't have to celebrate every holiday. Not every witch celebrates every holiday, so it's not a big deal. Do not stress. And when it comes to the Wheel of the Year, If you want your visualization, you can either save or print out the page I sent to both groups. Or you can very easily hop on Shein or Temu or Amazon, wherever, even go to your local metaphysical store, and they will have a Wheel of the Year that is like a little wooden Wheel of the Year thing that you can buy to hang up, or you can look online on Pinterest and find one that you can just put in a frame and put on the wall, or have in your book of shadows, or whatever. For me, I have a witch's calendar. I also have a Wheel of the Year I have to hang up. I've got a couple of them actually. But I have a witch's calendar that lists the full, basically the first quarter, the full moon, what season we're in, like astrology wise, and things of that nature. Lunar eclipses, the holidays, the new moons, last quarters. Like, for instance, the 15th of February was Lupercalia. It's the pagan version of Valentine's Day, essentially. But in this month, we have the first quarter in Virgo, full moon in Sagittarius, last quarter in Pisces. Then we have Litha, and then the season of Cancer starts, and the new moon is in Cancer. So everything I need is on there. If anyone is interested in getting that full witch calendar for 2025, I believe I found it on Pinterest. And all you have to do is look it up. It's not hard to find at all. If anyone wants it though, please ask me and I will find it and get a link and share it. And I have no problem helping. But I am sorry about the lesson about protection, cleansing, and grounding being changed. We had technical difficulties that Damina informed me of. I was hoping it would work, but it did not. I am having my friend re-record so I can send it over and also do a recording basically discussing what it means and what it is for. My friend is amazing. She has the voice for like voiceover meditation, honestly, in my opinion. But that being said, I hope everyone has an amazing rest of your day. And I think next week, let me check my folder. If we do not get the grounding, protection, and cleansing next week, it will probably be on... I will probably do altar basics. Just the basics of setting up an altar and how it's no mess, no fuss, not a big deal. It doesn't have to be extravagant. That'll probably be next week if I don't get the protection, grounding, and cleansing video that I need. So it will be one or the other. But yeah, I think that's about everything for today. And just a heads up, there will probably be a couple weeks where I will not be here. What I will try to do is I will try to basically pre-record a few classes and have them up in advance. That way all I have to do is send the links over to the individual chats, so you'll be ready to go, because when I am gone, I am not going to be thinking about it and I won't remember. So keep an eye on this channel. And then when I get back, things will continue as scheduled. If I have to readjust, I will tell you that I have to readjust. But I am hoping maybe on, I'm trying to think, maybe on Saturday. Actually, that's a good idea. This Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, what I will do is we will do some type of a live chat or a live video here on this channel. If it's not I will do some sort of a live on this channel on Saturday. So when you come to the channel, you have the option for videos, shorts, and then in lives. You go over to that lives tab. That is where you will find the live, and you can click on it, and we will start talking and getting to know each other and things like that. And you can tell me what you want to learn. I do already have a list that I've been working on and all that, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Well, the 18th is questionable, but at least 17 lessons that I can think of so far. Everything from your ultra basics, the grounding, centering, and shielding, the moon cycles, astrology, basic tarot, like bare basic tarot, history of runes, basic spells, herbology, scrying, crystals, offerings, casting circles, making your book of shadows, writing your story on your path, and Creek mythology. I have one about Creek mythology, not Greek, Creek. That's the one I'm questionable about. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I got to look into that more, because I heard some stuff about it, and I don't know if we're going to do that or not. If you're interested, tell me, but I'm not well versed in it. If someone is more well versed and wants to teach it, please tell me. But I mean, those are just different things that I am working on. I will probably do a more advanced tarot class, because I have a couple friends I'm working with. One who is actually going to be teaching a tarot workshop online. If any of y'all are interested in that workshop, please tell me, but it is not free. That is the downside. You can get it from me for free, but if you want a more thorough workshop, there is a paid option to do that. That is not through me. It is through a friend of mine. But I am not forcing that on you. I will not make you do it. I am not going to advertise it in the chats for the group, because I'm not pressuring anyone. If you are interested, put it in the comments here, and I will see it. I will get to it, and I will tell you individually how to find the workshop and who to talk to. And I am collabing with her on some stuff, so she might do a free video for me on more advanced tarot. Hopefully that's how it works out. She's from Canada, so she's not local for those of us who are in Jacksonville, who I originally made and have started making this series of classes for. But if you have any ideas on things you want to see, you can either comment or put it in our chats. I have 2 different chats that are getting these videos. So if any of y'all are interested in learning more about something that I have not mentioned, or something you're just not sure about, because I was thinking about getting into mythologies a little bit, but I wasn't sure, and mythologies get a little convoluted down the line. If you're interested in mythology, I can always offer resources or different shows and things like that that you can look into that actually have information. But me, I know from my deep diving, mythology gets very convoluted. Um, but with all that being said, I will see you next Wednesday. No, I will see you Saturday at 3 Eastern Standard Time on the live. We will all get to know each other. The JWS crew, the Witches Way crew, and the random newcomers that just happened by. And we will all get to know each other. We will all have a nice, healthy discussion. And hopefully have a good time. And I will learn more about everybody. And I look forward to it. So, y'all have a great day. And I will see you Saturday.